dies.
Anti-life is found, and we will stop at nothing to possess it.
Y'all ready?
Ready the Armada. We will use the old ways.
Darkseid, the god of apocalypse versus BVS cloned Doomsday, the part Kryptonian deformity. Without further ado, y'all know what time it is. Let's get into it. Let's get it. Alright, so here's the thing. There was the original Doomsday and many versions of concept art for Doomsday. And the original Doomsday fought Steppenwolf and shattered Krypton's moon in the process. He was actually the deformity that was presumably the original and presumably more comic accurate and probably unable to die permanently, as he would, come back each time he was killed, unable to be killed the same way. But BVS Doomsday is actually a Kryptonian hybrid creature that is presumably also a hybrid of different other versions of entities and creatures from throughout the galaxy and known universe. And so Doomsday, of course, has heat vision that is above that of the heat vision of BVS Superman, of course. That'll come into play later. And yeah, he's got this super strength that's even above that of BVS Superman. He's able to ragdoll him, as you can see here. And yeah, he's definitely one of the most powerful and badass villains in the DC universe right now, as far as, the live action films go, and even the comics, and I'd say even some of the animated films. We don't know, as I've said before, what Doomsday's full potential really was. See, Doomsday could constantly rapidly evolve and even emit nuclear pulses, but the original Doomsday was the one who was able to fight multiple super beings and literally destroy worlds and moons. And BVS Doomsday was actually said to be around, believe it or not, 20 some feet tall. At least once he's grown, evolved, and become more inclined to beat Superman, As you can see here, his heat vision absolutely, utterly outmatches that of Soup's. It's insane. It's absolute insanity. But yeah, only Kryptonite can honestly take out Doomsday from BVS, especially once he's evolved to a certain extent, and we don't know what he could have became. He could even develop bone spikes and different abilities, but Darkseid, on the other hand, well, Darkseid has the Omega effect, which allows him to use these laser-like Omega beams that can either slice directly through something, disintegrate it into ashes, disintegrate it to the point where it's just a skeleton, or, in some cases it can teleport the victim. And these rays of energy can actually zigzag and even follow a target in some scenarios. But yeah, Darkseid is actually an alien overlord and a new god, like Steppenwolf, although he was once immortal. And when he was immortal, he actually fought the old gods and was almost able to win, until, of course, he was overwhelmed. But the thing is, now that he has the Omega effect, he's basically unstoppable. And he's around 8'9". He is so powerful that he could actually fight Doomsday. That's why this is a plausible fight. And with all three mother boxes, he could terraform the Earth into Apocalypse. And he actually has multiple ways that he can conquer worlds, even just outright with his armada. And the thing is, the Omega beams, as you see, are beyond devastating. So is his super strength, will, and ability. He even was able to cause Superman to become evil Superman once he had the anti-life equation. But yeah, this of course was a concept art piece, so is this. But Darkseid's definitely up there as a villain. Anyways, so Darkseid approaches Doomsday, his eyes glowing with the Omega effect as Doomsday walks towards him, growling and roaring out at him, as then Darkseid immediately viciously leaps through the air, implanting his axe into Doomsday's chest as Doomsday grabs him by the leg, slamming him into the ground. brutally, savagely, causing a huge explosion of rubble as then Darkseid gets up and he kicks Doomsday back, causing him to stumble back and slide across the ground with his feet, slicing directly through the cement and concrete as then Darkseid runs over to him and leaps into the air. Doomsday grips him up midair and slams him into the ground. He stomps on his chest. He kicks him multiple feet away. Darkseid shoots his Omega beams directly at Doomsday, straight through his chest. Darkseid runs up, impaling Doomsday with the handle of the axe with the blade at the bottom. Doomsday hits him with the heat vision that's above that of BVS Superman's heat vision. And so, of course, this heat vision hits Darkseid and it burns him very badly. The energy explosion sends Darkseid back as Doomsday begins viciously punching him in the face, causing him to fly back as Darkseid gets up, charges, runs, leaps through the air, and socks Doomsday in the nose. Doomsday is rapidly evolving as he develops a big bone spike from his fist and stabs Darkseid through his armor directly in the side of his chest with it. Darkseid shoots his Omega beams and literally slices Doomsday in half as he runs up and implants the axe into his head, slicing down directly into his cranium as then he pulls the axe out and shoots his Omega beam straight through his skull. Winner, Darkseid. Comment if y'all want an alternate ending. Anyway, yeah, it's been your boy Dice 'em, Slice 'em, Dice 'em, and I'm outie. Peace.